Hey, what is up guys? DRC3 here, back with another My Hero Ultra Impact video, and today we're going to be talking about the upcoming Club Festival and what you guys need to do to prepare for it. So first off, the beginning of this notice says, here are some details about the Club Festival event starting in June 2023. It does not give us an exact date, but if I had to guess, it's going to be happening maybe around the time that the Impact Fest banner drops on the 1st of June. That's just my guess, or it could be like a week or two later. It's really hard to say, but hopefully, you know, will be sometime during the anniversary, unless they just have like some massive bugs to fix or something like that, but hopefully that's not the case. If you continue down the notice, we have more information on what the Club Festival is. Club Festival is an event where clubs compete with each other. A special stage with a powerful enemy will be available during the event. It's sounding like you're going to get a new type of game mode. Defeating the powerful enemy in this stage, which refreshes every day, will earn you event exclusive points. Event exclusive points makes me think even more that it's going to be some sort of new mode, but it could just be like a climax battle, a special climax battle. I really don't know. So I'm hoping it's a new mode, but we'll have to wait and see. The event points earned by all of your club members will then be totaled in a ranking. It does not say here whether this is a co-op raid or whether this is single player though. I'm really thinking it's going to be a new event though, and it's not going to be like another climax battle or VE Tower or anything like that. It should be something new. You will receive ranking rewards based on your club's position after the event period ends. So if your club does better and is in like the top 10, you're going to get better rewards. If your club does worse and they don't work well together, or not enough people are doing what they're supposed to be doing, you're going to get worse rewards. So make sure everybody in your club is going to be logging in on these days and preparing for the Club Festival. So what's going to be going on in the Club Festival? We have a powerful enemy type compatibility, and this is what I've been saying for a while. I told you it was coming, and basically this is finally that game mode where you have to use specific types of characters to be able to play the mode or get through the mode. This just says effective types. I don't know if that means you're still going to be able to use other types. I don't know if they're going to limit you on using the other types, but we'll have to wait and see. So this says the most effective types against the powerful enemy from the special stage of the upcoming Club Festival in June 2023 are as follows. Strength and mind type characters. Start preparing for the upcoming Club Festival event by strengthening characters of the effective types. Well, right now we have ×5 drop rates at the time of recording this video, so I'm also going to go over what characters you guys want to be leveling up and working on first and foremost that are strength and mind type characters that are going to help you through this event. Granted, I don't know what this event is going to entail, but I can tell you guys just in general which characters have been the best in the game. So just looking at URs here, my URs kind of go in the order of how I find them useful really, except for the climax battle characters, because you know those are just free to play characters, and the yellow free to play All Might, they're up there because you can get their stuff for free. But like other than that, Yellow Fantasy Kirishima, very good. You should be working on him. Literally the best tank in the game. I'm sure he'll help you a lot in this mode. The Mount Lady is actually still pretty good. She gives herself crit rate. She has 2 attack alls. That makes her really good. Deku is really good for his stun. I don't know if the enemy is going to have immunity to stun or whatnot, but the Vigilante Deku can be really, really good for the stun. The Fantasy Deku is good for persistence, and he can do massive amounts of damage if he gets low on health without dying. So he has a good survivability. This Yellow Deku is up here just because I got, you know, random pieces from VE Tower and stuff like that. I don't ever really recommend anybody work on Yellow Deku. Don't there's no need. Yellow Uraraka, very good. A great support, was one of the best supports in the game for a long time. Giving your whole team evasion is still very good. That could be really, really useful in this club event. Fantasy Ida, he speaks for himself. I don't really, unless you're brand new to the game, I don't really need to tell you how good Fantasy Ida is. He's ridiculous. Tokoyami, I wouldn't worry about leveling up too much. He's not the greatest. He's not going to be super useful. He does have a double normal attack, but that's only going to get you so far. Fantasy Kaminari has a Pierce on his plus ultra, so that can be decent. Other than that, I don't know if he's going to be the best option. He has a counter paralyze, right? So if he gets attacked, he can paralyze. So he might be decent. It just depends on if his status element is actually going to be useful or not. We have the Red All Might. He'll be able to do decent damage. You have Yellow Aizawa, who's still kind of a goat, honestly, with his skill seals and stuff like that. He's really good. I would focus on leveling him up. You have Present Mike, who can be good for the ecstatic and for raising plus ultra. Ultra Gauge, he's fairly decent. You have Red Hawks, who has some of the lowest cooldowns in the game, who's really good. You have Yellow Dobby, who obviously has a massive attack all plus ultra, and he has the Hellfire, and he burns every single turn with a passive auto skill, making him really, really good. Midnight also has her charms and stuns, good status elements, and it just depends on if the enemy's immune to stuns or not, whether she'll be good, but she could be potentially very good in this event. Yellow Bakugo can raise the crit rate of your team. He's okay. I wouldn't recommend him as one of your first picks, but if you are lacking some of those other characters that I said are really, really good, he could be like a good second pick for your team potentially, just depending on what the event is, but because of that crit rate, he can be nice. Red Todoroki is not great. Same with Yellow Todoroki. Red and Yellow Todoroki, I wouldn't worry about using too much. They're not going to be super useful to you in really any scenario as far as I can think of. The red Kirishima can be decent if you're lacking the yellow Kirishima. When it comes to defense, he can be a fairly decent defensive unit. If you're lacking yellow or Araka for a healer, you could use this red Yayorozu as a healer. Granted, she's not going to be the best healer, but she's okay. You could also use yellow Mirio and Sun Eater. Sun Eater and Mirio both have their uses. Mirio has evasion, Sun Eater can draw aggro, and he can bind. It just depends, once again, what the enemy has for resistances when it comes to status elements. And Red Endeavor, probably wouldn't use him just because his cooldowns are a little bit too long. Same with Shigaraki, a little bit too long on the cooldowns, but Shigaraki can do an attack all plus ultra, so he might be useful in some scenarios. Hard to say. Overall, just really villains in general, you're not going to use them a lot. The villains in the game that are currently in the game aren't super useful and super great. Like, they're okay if you are lacking a lot of the other characters I mentioned before, but you're really not going to use them if you have the other characters. And same with Red Deku. Red Deku's he's down there at level 85 for a reason, because he's just not super useful. So if I had to pick like my top 3 characters to maybe work on, if you're trying to figure out which characters you want to work on and stuff like that, assuming you have all these characters, right, I would probably recommend working on the Fantasy Kirishima. He's very, very good. I would recommend working on Yellow or Araka. So they don't rely on status elements, and like I said, I've said it a bunch of times now, we don't know what the enemy's going to be immune to. So Fantasy Kirishima is just a good tank. Yellow or Araka is a good healer and also a good support because she gives your team evasion. And then I would probably also focus on, if I had to pick one, either probably Ida, because he can draw aggro with his evasion, and he works really well with Yellow or Araka, or maybe Yellow Aizawa. Yellow Aizawa is just still really good in my mind. Those are the characters I would kind of work on at the top of my list, and then from there, any other character I said, was fairly decent, you guys could work on. As for the climax battle characters, I didn't really touch on them too much. Best Jeanist has really good defense. He could be decent, honestly, if you're lacking a tank. He could be a decent tank. He has counters, and yeah, he's all right for a climax battle character. The red climax battle all for one, he can remove buffs, so if they just have a ton of buffs like overwhelm, then he could be useful. Other than that, he's not super great. And then of course the free-to-play Yellow All Might is just don't use him. But anyways, guys, those are the things you want to do to prepare for the upcoming club event. Let me know which characters you're going to work on down in the comments below, and if this video helped you guys out at all, please go down there, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Trying to get to 10,000 by the end of the year, and I need your guys' help, so if you're not already subscribed, please go down there, hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.